Hello, everybody. Yalancy Peterson here. Today, it is Friday, November 5th, 2021. It is 10:22 a.m. Forgive me if my face looks unwashed. I forget these videos are in 4K now, but I'm very, very upset. And I need and want as many comments as I can, because there's something very heavy that's weighing on me, and I'm very mad. I'm very upset. I'm very, very, very angry. I live in a transitional housing facility, and there are a series of rules and guidelines that every person in here has agreed to follow, to adhere to respect, in order to receive the services of this organization. As you all know, I was homeless. I was a homeless rideshare driver for the entire existence of this channel. I functioned pretty well because I was determined to be successful, but it didn't work out the way I wanted it to. I had a stroke. The world experienced a pandemic. I was in the hospital. I recovered. The county was fortunate enough to place me in this facility. And I appreciate everything that the United States government, the state of California, the county of Los Angeles has done for me to get me to this point in life. However, one of the people in this facility, he uses meth, street meth. In fact, several of the people in this facility use meth. But the problem with this person is they use meth in their space, the space designated for them as they wait for their housing voucher to be placed in an apartment. Just like me, I'm waiting for a Section 8 voucher so I can be placed in my own apartment. Now, one of the rules, one of the guidelines, one of the points that every single person in this facility agreed to was that if they used any type of narcotic, alcohol, they inject, they drink, whatever, that it does not happen on site. If you're going to use, do it somewhere else. Just don't do it on site, and especially don't do it in your space. Now, as you all know, I had a stroke, a very serious stroke. The stroke affected the right side of my brain. Because the right side of my brain was affected, the left side of my body exhibits the damage caused from the brain cells that died. The specific area, there are multiple areas of my brain that were affected, but the specific area that affected me the most, it's called the internal capsule or the central capsule. The type of stroke I had, it's called a PCA stroke. It's a right side PCA stroke. Or it's a posterior cerebral artery stroke, PCA. Blood flow to my brain was interrupted for about 20 minutes. I am very thankful to be alive. I'm very thankful that I can walk. I'm very thankful I'm in my right mind and that I'm not a vegetable sitting in someone's hospital bed right now. But the central capsule in my brain, the internal capsule in my brain, it was damaged. That area of the brain is responsible for two very important things. It's responsible for motor control. It's also responsible for the reward center in the brain. You do something, your brain likes it, you get feel-good chemicals, you want to do that thing over again. Well, the central capsule is one of the areas of the brain that is affected when methamphetamine is ingested into the body. It causes a tremendous euphoric sensation to the person using the meth. But in my case, I am being harmed by it. Now, and the reason why I'm going through all of this is because I need and want anyone watching this video who's interested to understand why I am so upset. The person who uses the meth, first, that person agreed in writing, signing, that they would not use the meth in their space, and they wouldn't use it inside the facility. If they were going to use it, they can use it outside. There's a nice big world out here. Use it out there. Because for the person to receive services at this facility, you are not required to stop using. You are not required to stop using. All you do is, hey, you go outside. If you want to smoke cigarettes, they do have a patio area outside where you can smoke cigarettes, or you can go down the street and smoke. But anything else, go outside. But this person decides to use it in their space. They use it while I'm sleeping. So I have no way to defend myself from their vapors as it travels from their space into my space. Those vapors come into my space and in the space of everybody else on the floor. Comes into my body and it poisons me. I challenge anyone who tells me that methamphetamine is not a poison. Methamphetamine is not the same thing as eating a blueberry. There is no benefit to taking methamphetamine into your body. it kills brain cells. And when brain cells die, the body can die. Now, I also have high blood pressure. My blood pressure gets high when I am sleeping. But because I am in a relaxed state when I am sleeping, it's already reduced enough to where I don't have to worry about taking medication while I'm sleeping. But the way I'm waking up in the morning, my blood pressure goes up prematurely. That means my heart is affected. My brain is affected. My eyes are affected. My lungs are affected. My kidneys are affected because of the high blood pressure. And so I won't say that I'm suffering from this, but I am being negatively impacted by someone else's addiction, someone else's poison coming into my body against my will. So you'll say, hey, just move somewhere else. Go to another facility. Go back to living in your car. Here's the thing. I signed the same agreement that person did. I'm following the rules. I have no interest or desire in putting poison in my body. I'm doing all I can to eat fresh fruits and vegetables, to eat good quality food, exercise, take the medication I am properly prescribed, make sure that I get adequate vitamins and minerals in my body so I can recover from a stroke that nearly killed me. This person signed the same agreement. They signed and they said they agree to not use narcotics in their space. They agree to treat staff and other residents with respect. They agree to comply with the law. They agree to follow the rules of the facility. And that person isn't doing it because they willfully, repeatedly violate the rules by using methamphetamine in their space, poisoning me and everyone else in that needs to share the same airspace. We're all being poisoned by this person. And so I've been thinking about it, and I'm thinking, okay, at the very least, shouldn't this be considered indecent exposure to drugs? Because it's not decent, it's not correct, it's not proper, it's not moral, it's not right. It is indecent. We have laws against indecent exposure. We have laws against pouring used motor oil down the drain. We have laws against pouring antifreeze on the ground. We have laws against operating a motor vehicle and excessive emissions come from the vehicle. These laws carry penalties. Some are civil, you pay money. Some, you go to jail for it. You have to pay by surrendering your time and your freedom to make restitution to society because you harmed others with your conduct. So my thing is, shouldn't there be a law against, a law that prohibits, a law that penalizes indecent drug exposure? I'm not talking about you're walking down the street, someone lights up a cigarette, and all the secondhand smoke blows in your face. You're driving down the freeway in traffic. The person in front of you has a cigarette. They're hanging their hand out the window. Their secondhand smoke travels to your car and comes into the air conditioning vent of your car and comes in. I'm not talking about that kind of exposure. I'm talking about you are minding your own business away from other people. You're just sitting there. Someone decides to sit down next to you and just decides to smoke and blow all the smoke in your face. You're minding your own business, asleep. Someone is inside the same space you share. They're smoking, using meth, doing whatever. And their secondhand smoke, their poison comes into your space and you breathe it while you're asleep, unaware of what's going on until you wake up in the morning. When you wake up with all kinds of muscle stiffness, you wake up with muscle pain, you wake up angry and frustrated because in order to correct the behavior, the person has to be caught in the act. But what they do is they actively change when they use their substance inside so they won't be caught. So they know, oh, it's not me smoking. It could be any one of 4 other people smoking because it travels through the whole building. As long as they don't see me and I don't get caught, nothing can be done to me. And so they continue smoking. Because when staff comes up and they do the inspections and they look and see what's going on, they can't do anything because they have no evidence. And even though I know who it is, I have no evidence because I did not see them. I don't have a detector. There is no drug test that can prove this person is intoxicated on methamphetamine. What case do I have to have that person prosecuted for exposing me to a toxin that is harming me? And should I be required to give up my opportunity to help myself with a housing voucher that I need in order to allow someone who is clearly harming themselves, someone who despises themselves, Someone who is doing everything they can to slowly kill themselves. Should I give up my opportunity to help myself and make all the time I've spent here an absolute waste? Should I give that up to make someone who clearly doesn't want to help themselves? Should I give up my chance to let somebody else be comfortable and say, oh, it's okay for you to poison me. It's okay for you to abuse me as you poison yourself and abuse yourself. Should I really seriously do that? I don't think so. So, I have quite a few people on this channel, and I want your opinion. Based on the various indecency laws we have, based on the various laws about chemicals and no smoking and whatever, do you think there should be a law against indecent drug exposure? I want your comments. I want your opinions, because I want to make that law happen, at least in the state of California. I intend on posting a petition on change.org about this, and I intend to speak to or send letters to the appropriate state representatives until this goal is accomplished. Thank you for your time. I hope everyone is having your best blessed day ever. Take care.